Hey guys, welcome back to Ultimate S&S. I hope everyone's been having a great week. So on this channel, one of the things we talk about is sustainability, which is to also cut back on costs, not just make it so that you're growing everything, but you try to find a way to reduce the cost of the things you're doing around here. So for most that have had chickens, you know you can free range those chickens. Now when you live in an area like this and you have plenty of weeds and forage and stuff like that, that sounds and looks really great. But one of the things that you have to be aware of is we also have a lot of predators that frequent this area, from birds of prey all the way to coyotes and other things like that. So when you free range your birds, which we have actually started doing, here's a clip of that, guys. You want to make sure that when you're free ranging those birds, guys, you want to make sure that you're out there with them. So do it. I will not do it early in the morning or late in the evening. I try to find an area that's not quite mid-sun day where the sun is high in the sky. I try to aim for a little after that so my birds have already laid and I don't have to go around and look for eggs. Typically my birds lay by around 3 o'clock. So about 3 o'clock I'll come out and I'll open the gate. And I leave them outside anywhere between a half hour to an hour, just depending on the weather. And that allows them to get around and free graze. And that's going to cut back on the feed bill quite a bit. Now, if you live in an area with no predators, sure, you can turn them loose and let them have fun. But if you're down here in Florida, guys, I highly recommend that you keep your birds covered. You keep some kind of a covered run for them during the day so you're not dealing with these predators flying in. We've had predators climb on top of the cages. I've come out, found possums several times, raccoons trying to get up. And fortunately for us, we're using good grade wire, so we don't have to worry about that too much. We did have a possum get in the pen here a few months ago. If you remember, we showed you a picture of that in our community post, and we dispatched him and got moving on pretty quick. But these little tips and stuff like that are things that, you know, you're going to learn the hard way. So early on, we had started our second brood of chickens, and this was probably about 3, maybe 4 months ago. And the pen that we had, the bottom fell out of one of the nesting boxes, and they got out. When by the time I got out here and found them that next morning, which was pretty early on, we were down to just 3 birds, and then we had 4 originally. So that just in that amount of time, it looked like maybe an owl or something had got them. Maybe that had happened at night. It's hard to say. All we found was a fluff of feathers and nothing. So be able to watch your birds. Now, what you don't see in that video clip is the fact that I have a rifle off to the side. That way, if one of these birds come flying in or something comes up to actually try to grab my chickens, I can deal with that in a very quick manner. Do not use buckshot, folks. If you're going to use buckshot, you're going to hurt your bird as well. So, and if you're not a good shot, then maybe think about, you know, an airsoft or something like that to deter them. But need to be working on that if you're not a very good shot, folks. But I hope everyone's been having a great weekend. I hope you've been enjoying some of the new content. I think it's important that we remind everybody that even though we're seeing all this stuff coming to fruition here in the country, don't let it get you dismayed. Do not be afraid of what's coming. Understand, we know that there is a day coming where we as believers, we will be handed over. Now, when that day comes, is it sooner, is it later? Don't really know. It has a lot to do with the temperature, the spiritual temperature, if you want to call it that, here in our country, how many believers are in office. So you need to be seriously looking at these candidates who you're voting into office, folks. If you keep voting people like Pelosi in office, I don't know if you've seen it in the news here recently, if you have a private well in California, they're coming out and they're putting a meter on it. Now, I understand you've already purchased water rights for that well when you had it installed, but now they're going to come in, put a meter on it, and charge you in excess of beyond whatever it is that they're allowing, you know. So basically, they own the water, you don't own anything. And if you think about that, I mean, really stop to think about it. We're born on this planet. God has given us all equal rights to the resources of this planet, but these people are setting up like they are elites, and they have the say over who gets what, but they don't limit what they get. So that's what we're dealing with in this country. These people that feel that they're better than each and every one of us, and we are the backbone that is keeping this country together. So at the point when we wake up, it will put them out of a job. So it's time to wake up, folks. Wake from your slumber. The end days are approaching. Not saying it's got to happen. you know, very easily we could actually turn around and this world start giving its life back to the Lord, and that will get us more time. That doesn't seem to be what's happening. What seems to be happening is we're seeing evil on the rise. So everyone have a wonderful day. We're going to hop off here.
Hey, hit that subscribe button. It's right there. Did they hit the subscribe button?